Guys, a lot of love to our praise team. One more time. Yes. A lot of love to our associate minister, Emily. She does so much for our church. She's our worship director here, and she puts everything together. She has a team of people, lovely people, faithful people, good people. So, Emily, we really appreciate all that you do, and this cannot happen without you here. Thank you. Yes, praise God. And also to Olivia, and also to Jeffrey. Jeffrey has been a rock on the drums, and Sam is always a rock in the piano. So, welcome. So I noticed most of you are here. I know there are some empty seats. So those that are empty, I know where you went. They went up to Canada. Totally get it. But for the rest of you, what happened? I thought you guys were going to be up in Canada. No? Well, welcome. Our Associate Minister Winnie, she's in Hong Kong. Right after election day, on election day or something like that. She went, she's out there. Did you guys watch the election? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yes. How do I start? That's what I want to talk about today. I had a message prepared for each book. And we were ready to talk about something totally different. And then I stopped. I said, I think we need to address our election, and I need to really talk about it and really think about it so that maybe we have a different perspective possibly. You're open to this. Yes, I know, it's a little different. Let me ask you guys something. I was on Facebook and I saw this picture. And the person said that if you voted for Trump, that means you hate gays, you're anti-Muslim, you are sexist, you are against women. And I go, wow. So if you voted for Trump, that's how many people look at you. I don't know, right? That's a tough thing to swallow for those of us who voted for Trump. And I don't know who you voted for, I won't ask. If you were to ask me, here's what I did on election day. I did not turn on my TV until like 9 o'clock at night. And I was getting texts from friends and from some of you guys. I said, hey, are you watching? I said, no, I'm not watching. I already made a decision not to watch. And so at 9 o'clock I made a decision, that's the time I'm going to watch at 9 p.m. I had a game plan. I turned it on for 3 minutes, looked at it, shut it. That was my game plan. And I said, I'm going to watch it at 10 o'clock. That was my game plan. 10 o'clock, turn it on. Interesting. Shut it. That's what I did. So I just want to ask you guys something. How do we move forward as a country, as a nation? And if you subscribe to the idea, and I know many of you are heartbroken, many of you are very sad, many of you are afraid. I see it. I do see it. And I'm not making any light of those emotions that you feel. Not at all. I totally empathize with it. The compassion goes out to each and every one of you and to your friends. I've seen Asian Americans being hit by eggs. I've seen Asian Americans being yelled at and screamed at already. That's posted and it's been shared all across our nation. So things are happening, but how do we move forward as a nation? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Is that cool? Yeah, I would say cool. Cool. You can. Follow me. Let's get to our program. I got about 30 minutes. Election is over. Now what? What happened? Please read Proverbs 14:15 nice and loud. 1, 2, 3. A simple man believes anything, but a prudent man gives thought to his steps. Take your pen. A simple man, simple man, that means if you don't really think about certain things, you will believe what? Anything. Here's a contrast. But a prudent man, circle prudent, or man, a prudent woman, gives thought, underline gives thought to his steps. Look up, please. Here's what I did. Right after the election, and like I told you, I didn't want to watch it. I knew something was going to happen. I didn't know how it was going to play out. So intentionally, I didn't want to watch it during the entire day. And then about 11 o'clock, I started to watch at that time when it got a little close. And then around 12 o'clock midnight, that's when I really tuned in. I wanted to go to sleep at that time, but I couldn't. And I stayed up until 3 o'clock, almost 3:30. I waited all the time, and I thought I was just going to go to sleep. And then I stuck with it. I stuck with it, and that's something that I normally not do. And there was intrigue. There was also a consideration of what's going to happen to our country. So after the election, here's what I did. I wanted to be open-minded. I wanted to learn. I wanted to know what happened. And this Proverbs tells us exactly. If you subscribe to a label that if someone voted a certain way, be it Hillary, and for those who are from a different camp, for those who think that if you voted for Hillary, that means you're corrupt and you're just an elitist. I mean, that's a label, isn't it? But vice versa holds true, isn't it? That if you voted for Trump, then you're a bigot and you're a racist. That's a label, isn't that? It's so easy to put a label on anything, because you know why it's easy to put a label? You don't have to deal with anything. You don't have to do any research. Does that make sense? Once you're able to put a label on someone, that's a bigot, that's a racist, there's no more work to be done, and you feel very good about yourself. And that's why labels are very, very easy to put on someone. Because it frees you from having to deal with the hard stuff in life. You don't have to have a conversation anymore because you feel really good that you're not a racist. You're not bigoted. You're above the law. Are you guys following? So for the next 2.5 days, 3 days, entire days, I research. Proverbs says that if you're a simple man, you'll accept anything and everything. Whatever you see, you say, okay, that's true. That's what it means. But a prudent person, a prudent woman, you start to think for yourself. You all know that the media companies, be it Fox or CNN or CNBC, they're not news, you know that, right? Many of it is just pundits and commentators, experts, so-called experts and scholars. But they have a career, they have a job. You're a Democratic spokesperson, or a pundit, or a scholar. You make your money from a certain party. Your career is at stake, you want to climb. So if you get invited to a particular news channel, whose views are you going to be pushing for? Your party's view. Because your career is at stake. Follow the money. Once you follow the money, then you know where it goes. Here's what I did first. First thing I did was Google something. The word politics. It starts right there. And here's what I found. Here's a definition. Politics. Short answer. The nature of politics is about power, control. Short. Think about it. The nature, this is a definition, you could Google it. Same information that you have. That's a wonderful thing about the internet, isn't it? Equal playing field. Should you desire to want to choose to understand what's happening, it's all right there on your phone. But you have to do some work. It takes a lot of work to filter a lot of things out to think for yourself. Again, politics. The nature of politics is about power, control. Here's another one. Politics is the process of making decisions applying to all members of the group, exercising positions of governance, organized control over a human community. Control. I'll end with this one. This is a good one. Politics is the study or practice of the distribution of power and resources within a community. Are you guys following? The first casualty in war is what? I think I've preached it before. Anytime you go to war, what's the first casualty? Truth. Everyone say truth. Think about it for a moment. Be it our nation against another nation. Be it maybe yourself and your parents. Be it you and your best friend. Be it your spouse and yourself. When you have an argument, what's the first casualty? It's not physical. It is truth. Truth gets bended out of shape to suit your perspective. Are you guys following me? Are you guys starting to follow me? I know this woman. I know her quite well. Think about this for a moment. She's Latino. Latino/Chinese. She's a minority, yes or no? Yes. She's educated, highly educated. She's a professional, and she's a Christian. Guess who she voted for? Just say it. It's okay to say the word. You're not going to get shot here. Trump. Trump. A Latino woman. Professional. Highly educated. Voted for Trump. Now, are you going to say that she's sexist? Can you apply that label to her? Are you going to say that she's anti-immigration? No, her family comes from Asia and Europe. She's an immigrant herself. So it's far more complicated, isn't it now? You know how many African Americans voted for Trump? Do your homework, right? So for all those African Americans who voted for Trump, are they racist against themselves? We have to understand that. Oh, they could be, yes. So we have to start to think through that. Millions of women voted for Trump. Are they sexist? Is it that as a woman you do not want another woman as president? So the issues are far more complicated. There are 3 things I want you to write down on your paper right now. And I want you to think through this for a moment. 3 words. I think we'll get through this. Put down the word family. I won't say family. Look up this. How important is your family to you? If you think that your family is paramount to you, raise your hand, please. Your family. Okay, thank you. Next word I want you to put down is country. I want you to think with me right now. Between family and country, which is more important to you? For those of you who think family is more important than country, raise your hand. It's okay, thank you. For those of you who think that country is more important than family, raise your hands. Thank you. 1. I expected maybe 2. Maybe 2. I didn't think that was going to get 1. Thank you. I think you start to see the point. All of us desires that family is number 1 before country. All of us. Here's a third one. Remember, there's 3 words. This is a hard one. You put family first. You put country second. Write down God somewhere. Where do you put God? Question. Who still has family first? Raise your hand. It's perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. I'm not going to put any labels on you guys. And no one should. No one should. Remember, labels are what? The easy way out. Don't take the easy way out. It's very easy to slap a label on someone. You don't have to deal with it. It's much better maybe to reconsider and have dialogues and have conversations. Who has God first? Raise your hands. Thank you. 0. Half. Oh, I got it. Okay. So here's what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing family first, country second, God 3. And that is the problem of our nation, I believe. I'll show you what I mean. Let me just crunch some numbers for you. Like I said, I did a lot of research and I tried to crunch some numbers and just to find out who voted and have a better understanding. African Americans down 13% in terms of voting from 2012. 6 million people, 6 million Democrats, 6 million, I should say more specifically, 6 million Obama voters did not vote this election. Of those 6 million, we're talking about 6 million of African Americans and women. That's a lot of people who did not vote for Hillary. Are you guys following? So if you want to really crunch the numbers before we go and look at the Republican Party, it is to say and ask yourself the question, why did the Democrats not come out and vote? Right? We all have a vote. You have a chance to vote. Your vote matters. Your vote matters any way you want to vote it. If you really wanted a certain candidate, you work hard for that candidate's vision. Yes or no? If you really believe in his or her vision for the country, you have to work hard for that. Because there are other people who are working just as hard to exercise their vote. So 6 million people voted, that voted for Obama decided to say not voting. Of those 6 million, if they voted, Hillary would be our president. In those swing states, especially Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Florida, absolutely. Here's another set of numbers. You may know this already. College-educated whites, margins of 53% to 43% voted for Trump. 29% Latinos voted for Trump. 29% Latinos. And he's going to build a wall too, right? Why would they vote? Why would they vote for Trump? I think that's the question that you and I must ask. Why would a woman vote for Trump? You have to ask this question. I have a short little video. May I have that, please?
Patriotism. There's a word thrown around a lot. It inspires passionate debate. It's more like a badge of honor, and with good reason. Because it means love and devotion for one's country. Love. For a word designed to unite, it can also be pretty divisive. See, there's more to patriotism than flag seeking with onesies and rodeos and quadruple cheeseburgers. Patriotism is love for a country, not just pride in it. But what really makes up this country of ours? What is it we love? It's more than just a huge rock full of animals like cougars and eagles, right? It's the people. Do me a favor. Close your eyes for a second. I want to try something out. Picture the average U.S. citizen. Think about it. How old are they? What's their hair like? How much can they bench? You got one? Okay. So chances are, the person you're picturing right now looks a little different than the real average American. There are 319 million U.S. citizens. 51% are female. So first off, the average American is a woman. Cool, huh? Is that what you pictured? 54 million are Latino, 40 million senior citizens, 27 million are disabled, 18 million are Asian. That's more people in the U.S. that play football and baseball combined. 9 million are lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, more than the entire amount of people that live in the state of Virginia. Around 10 million are redhead, 5.1 million play ultimate frisbee, and 3.5 million are Muslim. Triple the number of people currently serving in the United States military. Almost half the country belongs to minority groups. People who are lesbian, African American, and bi, and transgender, and Native American, and proud of it. We know that labels don't devalue us, they help define us, keeping us dialed into our cultures and our beliefs in who we are as Americans. After all, what's more American than freedom to celebrate the things that make us, us? I mean, it's stitched into the stars and stripes of this country, from the Constitution to Gettysburg, to our motto, E pluribus unum, from many, one. It's even in our country's name, the United States. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, disability, sexuality, race, religion, and any other labels. Because the second any of us judge people based on those labels, we're not really being patriotic, are we? So let's try this one more time. Close your eyes. Picture the average Joe or Joan or Juan or Jean-Luc. The real people who make America, American. And this year, maybe you feel the urge to don those star-spangled shorts, set off fireworks the size of my biceps to show love for our country. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans. Because love has no limits.
Place, please. Yes? There's one group of people who are hurting a lot in our country. And their voice has not been heard, and I would like to share their voice with you today. They don't have hope, and they want change. They are Americans, and they happen to be white. Specifically, poor whites. Whites who are living in poverty. Whites that have much, much less than you do. You're in a very, very good position. There are a majority of white folks who are poor. Did you know that? Did you know that? But we live in the East Coast, and we have a lot of friends maybe out on the West Coast. And when Hurricane Katrina hit, all we heard about was New Orleans, right? All the attention was in the city, New Orleans. If you associate Katrina, you associate with New Orleans. More than any other city, the impact was in New Orleans. But did you know that hundreds and hundreds perished and died in rural Mississippi? Did you know that hundreds of billions of dollars were lost in other states? When a hurricane hits, it doesn't just land on New Orleans. It goes through many different towns, small towns. There are many poor whites who live in trailer parks and with leaks. And they're tired. Here's what they're tired of. They're tired of our system. They're tired of our country. They're tired of our nation. They're not Democrats, no Republicans. They're just tired. Are you guys getting it? Here's what they want because they're tired. They want change. They want change for the better for the children. They want change better for themselves. The first thing that they asked was jobs. That's my research. All they want are just jobs. Second thing that they want, if they're older, they want to make sure that the retirement funds are secure, whatever total retirement that they have. They don't want to lose it to the banks. Getting bailed out. Are you guys following? You guys following? So they're going through a lot of tough stuff, and they just want change. Trump does not represent the Republican Party. If you follow, if it's in the back next time, thank you. Trump does not represent the Republican Party. In fact, their own party turned against them, just so you know. Their own party leaders turned against them. What Trump represented to the majority of people who voted for him is change. If you want affirmative action, it does not apply to the poor whites. They have nothing to fall back onto. Are you guys getting it? Are you guys getting it? So when we shout white privilege, that's a double whammy to them. They said, I'm poor, I'm white, I live in a trailer park. I have nowhere to go. My children have nowhere to go. We have no jobs here. The jobs are on the coastal lines. And we cannot send our sons and daughters out there because we cannot afford the rent. We cannot relocate. Are you guys understanding? They don't have the money to relocate to the cities that you are living in, that I am living in. Are you starting to get a little bit now? 6 out of 10 Americans have not graduated college. 6 out of 10. So if you are uneducated, don't look at them as ignorant. Please do not. If they are uneducated, look at them as they didn't have the opportunity that you have. There's a world of difference. They are law-abiding. They uphold the law. Who has been to Walt Disney World? Raise your hand. I've been to Walt Disney World. Who's been to Great Adventure? Raise your hands. Yes. What's the difference between Walt Disney World and Great Adventure? You know, I noticed. In Disney World, when I stand on line, and if that line is about 300 people and 2 hours for a ride, I'm like, yes. I'm pretty guaranteed that no one's going to jump me. When I go to Great Adventure, here's what I notice. So many people are jumping in front of me. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that? So many people jump in front of me. They just jump, jump, jump. And if I'm with my children, I do not say anything. I guess follow now, because I'm gonna get hit back, and I want to protect my family. Here's what the poor folks feel. People are jumping in front of them, time and time again. They feel sick and tired of it. They've been in our country many years. Here's what they say. Our government handing out a lot of money to their cities, subsidized housing. They go, we don't have that here in rural America. We don't have what you guys have. And you guys are complaining. Give that to us. We've been here. How come we don't get that here? You guys are talking about homelessness in the inner city. And you get billions and billions of dollars. You get services. But we don't have anything. The only thing that we have here is just a little coffee shop and some small town shops and family-owned businesses. And when Walmart comes in, we lose our jobs. And you guys talk about shutting down coal mines and everything else. My grandfather, great-grandfather, my father worked in a coal mine. When you shut that down, where do I go? Like I was following it. Are you starting to see a different picture right now of our country? There are people who hurt. Have you been out in rural America? No. We've only been in cities. So when you look at the map, and all the districts that voted red, they're not racist. These are small towns that are crying for help and they want change. Like I saw, they are so much like your mother and your father. They are so much like my mom and dad. They are law-abiding citizens. They have dignity. They don't want handouts. They want work. Any type of work. They just want to work for the family. I guess it's very easy to put a label and say, you voted for Trump, you're a racist. In the story, the issues are far deeper. Much deeper than you would think of. Take a pen, follow me. How do you fix our nation? Please read Romans 12:21, nice and loud. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Here's the three things. God, country, family. How do you fix our country? How do you fix our nation? Let's make it very, very simple. God, country, family. Look up, place. The reason the United States of America is a great, great nation because it has those values. It has always been God, country, family. That's how this nation was established. The freedom to practice religion. God first. They put God first. They put country second. They put family as part of that. Number 3. You know, we celebrate Veterans Day. Did you know that? When we celebrate Veterans Day, they sacrifice. They make the ultimate sacrifice. Our veterans make the ultimate sacrifice. Our military, men and women, make the ultimate sacrifice. But it's not just Afghanistan. It's not just Iran. It's not just Vietnam. It's not just World War I. It's not just World War II. You bring it all the way back to our revolution, the birth of this nation. Are you guys following now? The birth of our nation, people gave their lives so that you and I could sit here, practice our freedom, that we could speak like this without any fear. Yes, there are knuckleheads, totally. There are knuckleheads everywhere and anywhere. Are they racist? Yes, there are, totally. But before we start to look outside, maybe it's to check our heart first. If you, I don't know how you define a racist or describe a racist, but if racism or racism is to say, here, I'll slap a label on somebody, then have we not slapped labels easily on anybody else? I guess so now. There are people, good people, who has placed country first before family. Think about that. Who's given up their lives for country? If all of us just worry about our family first, none of us are going to the front line. Who protects us? I guess all now. I guess all now. Our answer was families first. And I think that's probably a different way of looking at it. Then let's read some scriptures. If you want to talk about and want to know exactly what God says, please read Romans 13, 1-2, nice and loud. 1, 2, 3. Everyone must submit himself to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. Consequently, he who rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has instituted. Number one, God abiding. Everyone, that's you, me, must submit. Circle submit. Anyone say submit? Himself and herself to what? Government authorities. Underline that. For there is no authority except that which God has established. Look up, please. God uses government. So we should just order in our country. I guess hard. You take away any government, what happens? It's anarchy, it's chaos, it's confusion. So God, in His goodness, allows government to form, and He uses the government as an institution to make sure that there's laws and that we can live in liberty with justice. Are there bad politicians? Totally. Are there bad systems? Totally. We're not talking about that. Totally, there are. Of course there are. But God uses government as a tool to make sure that there is harmony. Cool? So you place God first, your worldview starts to shift. But if you place family first, then it doesn't really matter about the government. It doesn't really matter about what God has to say. Then it's really just, I'm in it for myself. Are you guys getting that? You place family first, and I am only in it for myself, and I really don't care about anybody else, as long as I have my job, as long as I have money, as long as I could vote for a politician that's just for myself, and I'm just looking for who? So the first thing we must do is this. How do we go forward and fix our nation? Where did you get your truths? Where do you put your worldviews on? Is it on social media? Is it on cable news? Is it on somebody else? Or is it back to scripture and say, you know what, Pastor Kenny, God should come first. That's a radical thought. But it should be. Because when you put God first, you have a pathway out of this whole thing, and you have a pathway to fix our nation. Number 2. Romans 12:3-5. This is the passage that God uses to speak to us regarding government. 1, 2, 3. Do you want to be free from fear of one in authority? Then do what is right, for he is God's servant to do you good. Therefore it is necessary to submit to the authorities. Do right. Do you want to be free from the fear? Yes. Then what do I have to do? Do what is right. Circle right. For he is God's servant to do you good. Therefore it is necessary to submit. Do you go again to the authorities? Look up, please. I totally get the fear. I see it all over. I get it. I totally get it. I'm afraid too. I want you guys to know that. When I get pulled over by a cop, my heart jumps. I totally get it. But those are just knuckleheads. Are you guys follow me when I use the word knuckleheads? You always have knuckleheads. But our nation's far greater than that. Our nation's far greater than that, colleagues. Do you want to take away that fear? Here's what I do. When I drive, if it's 65, I go 66, 67, it's okay. Do I want to go 90? I'll be afraid. Because I want to get pulled over. I guess following that. Do what is right. There's no fear. If I'm going to break the law, I should be afraid, yes or no? If I'm going to break the law, I should be afraid. But if I'm not going to break the law, and I'm going to abide by the law, as what God tells us to do, there's no fear in that sense. Am I afraid of knuckleheads? Yes, I'm afraid of knuckleheads. But there's no fear every day when I walk out, because I'm going to live right. I'm going to be a law-abiding citizen. Number 3. Romans 13:7, listen loud. Give everyone what you owe him. If you owe taxes, pay taxes. If revenue, then revenue. If respect, then respect. If honor, then honor. Give respect. Give respect. Wednesday morning, I saw and I waited for Hillary's concession speech. And she said to all of us, to all Americans, she said, be open-minded. That's what she said to us, yes or no? Yes. Give him what? A chance. She despised the guy, I know that for sure. You know that for sure. Come on, of course. Is she hurt? Yes. She's totally devastated. I'm sure she thought that she was going to wake up and say, I'm going to be the president. And all that's gone. She's totally devastated. But she still gives respect to the office. You guys follow the office of the presidency. There's a difference. You could disdain the person. You could hate the guy for all he said. Totally cool. We all understand that. But there is a respect that you give to the office. So when he went to shake hands with President Obama, right? Did you guys saw that? Did you guys watch that? Did President Obama shake his hand? Yeah. Or did he slap him? Did he give him back? I don't even say what. I don't want to say that. He did not go like that to him, right? There is a respect that you give to the office. You don't have to like the person. You don't have to like the person. You don't have to like me. Seriously. You don't have to like me. But you do respect the office of the pastor when you come to a church. You don't have to agree with my views, but there is a respect that's given. Likewise, I give that respect to you. And if I walk into someone's office, I give that respect. If I go to your house, I give that respect to you because that's your house. Does that make sense now? So it's not the person that you like or dislike. How do we move forward as a nation? How do we fix this nation? Respect the office. Honor it. Lastly, Romans 13:8-10, nice and loud. No debt remain outstanding, except the continuing debt to love one another. Summed up in this one rule: love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no harm to his neighbor. Spread love. Spread love. Take your pen. Love your neighbor, circle neighbor. I don't say neighbor. As yourself. Love does no harm. Underline no harm to his neighbors. Look up, please. If you put God first, you put country second. That's neighbor. I guess following me. You put God first because the reason you put God first, now you have a moral compass, you have a pathway, and you know this is the right path to take. You put God first. Second, before you put your family in front of the nation, you put country first. This is country, right here. Do you recognize this? This is country. My family's not just me and my wife and my 3 boys. If I place family first, that means I'm going to place my own self-interest above every one of you at all times. Are you guys getting it now? So for those of us who says family first, country second, there's no difference. There's no difference. I'm just going to watch out for my family. I really don't care about how you feel. If I need to step over you, I'll step over you to get to where I want to go. But God changes the whole thing. God goes like this. No, don't do it this way. God goes, place me first. Trust me. Here's my teaching. Number 2, love your neighbor as what? So that's placing country as important as your family. As important. I end with this because I have to run. I end with this thought. You could despise him, and it's perfectly okay. Totally okay, absolutely okay. But here's what's not okay. Here's what's not okay. Don't despise those that who voted for Trump because you don't know who they are. There's a difference now. Are you guys in it? You see the difference? You could despise the person that you disagree with for the things that he said, but try not to despise all those who voted for him because you don't know who they are. They voted for this man for many, many different reasons. Well-meaning folks, well-loving folks, women who voted for this man, African Americans who voted for this man, Muslims who voted for this man, gays and lesbians who voted for this man. Seriously. All that is true, what I just said. You could Google and search. And then your worldview is going to start to say, why did they vote for him? Now you got something going on. You're able to reach across and say, why did they vote for him? Then you become a peacemaker. Take your pen. Let's read. You have a great opportunity. The world's watching. Matthew 5:9. Let's read. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Simple peacemakers. Look up this. I know this. God, country, family. I think if you look at those 3 words and you place it in the right order for yourself and for our nation, that's the way out. And where do we find that? It is in God's word. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, there's so much division within our nation. And many of us are hurting, and many of us cannot believe it, and many of us are still totally devastated. How could such a man be the president of our nation? But yet there is also another 50% that are rooting for him. And so our country is divided even further more so. So Father, what do we do? Give us a discerning mind, Father. Let us do the hard work of reaching across the aisle, asking those hard questions and opening dialogues with our friends and family who may have different views from us. Just asking those questions is, why did you do this? Why did you vote this way? I would like to know. Asking those questions with full sincerity, with full love in our hearts. For we desire peace for our nation. We desire to spread love among all people. So Father, this prayer goes out first to our President-elect Trump and his family as well too. They need our prayers. They need all of our prayers more than anything else right now. There's a daunting task of uniting the nation in the coming days and to heal our land. But Father, may you heal our hearts first, that if we're able to pray for him, that healing starts within ourselves already. And if we're able to pray for him, Father, there's a glimmer of hope within our hearts, and there's love that's blossoming once again. So I pray all of this for each and every person sitting here. This is a dear family to me. And as we're able to pray for our enemies, Father, truly that is love. Love for you, love for country, and love for family. And I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.